Can you guys hear me? I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, let me go ahead and put this in a group. Give me 1 second. Happy Sunday, everybody. I hope you guys are doing amazing.
Yes, ma'am.
Sunday.
Sunday to you, Jess. How's the
Happy
family?
Sunday.
How's your son? Yeah, how's Loyal?
Yeah, Loyal's doing much better. He had an anaphylactic emergency, very scary, very scary allergic reaction, which was like really crazy for me because I just almost lost, like his lips was changing colors. It's just nothing but God, and I'm so grateful that my baby's okay because I literally lost my
Thank God. We're
mind.
happy to hear that. Thank you, God.
Yeah, thank you.
Praying for you and the family, Jess.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God is just so faithful because when I tell y'all, it was so scary. It was so scary. So I'm just happy he's okay. God is so good. Because it was nothing but God. Like it was nothing but God. But okay, so let's get into the charts because I was super sad that I had to cancel on you guys last week, but it was no way that I could do that call. Not only was I in the hospital, I was like an emotional wreck. It was just not a good day last week. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. We're gonna get straight to it today. And hold on 1 second. Let me just make sure everything's live on YouTube. Everybody can see. Okay, perfect. Yep, that's click. I don't know why my audio was messed up as soon as I joined, but okay, I'm getting ready to share screen. Okay, so first things first.
Is she frozen for anybody else?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep, I was about to ask the
Yeah.
same question.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seem like you're frozen, Jess.
I don't know if she can hear us. He's probably talking right now.
Yeah, she got bad service.
Think she
Oh boy. Mm. And she'll pick up now. She'll see that it's lost.
She just logged out. Hopefully she'll log back in.
This might be a good session tonight.
How everybody doing?
Doing good.
That's
Doing
good.
good.
That's great. Yes, sir. We blessed, brother. Yes, sir.
Totally.
Off the subject, Terrence J., I like your picture.
Oh, thanks.
That's nice. That's real
Hope it's
nice.
not making everybody hungry.
No, it's beautiful. I love it.
I was thinking of that scripture that says, "Be fruitful and multiply,"
Oh, okay.
and that's
That's
when
nice.
when I found that.
Oh, that's nice. I like it. I like stuff like that. That's pretty.
I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know what just happened. Yeah, I don't know what just happened. I'm so sorry about that. Can everybody hear and see me clearly?
Now,
Yes.
now we can.
Yes.
Just
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we
the
can
top of
see.
your head is missing. The top of
Yeah.
your head is missing.
That's because I look crazy. I've been a wreck. Okay, so yeah, go on. That's a whole nother. I've had the kid. Michael's out of town, so I've had the kids nonstop. I'm actually at my mom's house, and I think her internet just went out. So I'm like, why did that? She's watching the kids for me, so I could do this call for you guys. So, let me mute somebody. Also, Denise, I want to thank you so much for hosting the call or for hopping on and letting students know last week because it was very last minute. So I do want to say thank you to you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. Okay, so Did everybody hear what I said before the computer cut off though?
Yeah, so you recording?
Yeah, I am. Well, it's live on YouTube, so
Okay.
it's recording. But okay, so did anybody hear me when I just asked the question of who got GU and I want somebody to walk us through it?
No.
No.
Oh, y'all didn't hear none of that. Okay, great. Okay,
Oh,
let me start over. Okay, so I said I want to follow up with the GU trade that we had talked about on the Monday night call, and I want to know who got it. And if somebody, whoever got it, and if you're somewhat experienced, I want you guys to walk, or I want you, whoever that may be, to walk the class through before I walk the class through, is what I had said. Anybody? Anybody caught it first off? Did anybody catch the buy on GU?
I did not catch the biology. I wasn't looking.
Did anybody? Nobody
did.
caught it at all?
No, I didn't catch it either.
I
But
had
I
I
was
called
I was
it.
looking at
well.
it.
I did.
I caught it.
Okay, who said I caught it?
I did.
I did.
Okay, would you like to walk the class through before
I
I
don't
do?
got my laptop with me.
All right, fine. I like when you guys are learning, and I like when I'm able to check in with you guys from you guys' perspective of like walking things through, because then I know that you're receiving it and able to communicate it properly. So I like doing like check-ins like that. But okay, so I'll walk us through. Let me go ahead and share my screen and let's follow up from where we were on the Monday night call from the course check-in call. Okay, so give me 1 second.
Jess, before you do that, I can share my screen. I didn't take it, but I just want to be the one to be like to see if it's the same before you share yours, because girl, I love when it adds up and it matches. So I can be the one to share.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Let me see. Okay, can you see my screen?
No.
Okay. All right, let's see. It's still saying only the host can share in this meeting.
All right, try now.
Okay.
Xavier, I saw your message and I want to say thank you so much. It was so nice. I'm happy that everything's working out for you and that this is that the course has been a blessing to you.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So this ellipse right here, is that the start of the buy that you took? Because this is my 1 hour trend line right here. Because I had this fib. I kept extending it because, of course. So from this point.
Hold on. Let me go to mine and see. Is that around 1.33112?
Let me see.
Or is it at 1.34209?
Oh, okay. So the first buy, hold up. So this one right
No,
here,
no,
I
what
thought this.
the one you had, was that near 1.34102?
Let me see.
Because I had two buys on that.
1.341.
Okay, so yeah, it's the same.
Okay, yes.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
I'm the same vicinity. Okay, so what about the first one?
Okay, so this is the very first when it first started, because it was 2 retests on this first fib, because it broke structure right here this high. So I was like, okay, and then it broke my descending trend line. So I was like, okay, boom, draw the fib from point A to point B. It was this point at first, but then it made a higher high, so I extended it, locked that in, and then I was like, okay, so it didn't pass below this low. It kept making higher highs. It respected this minor zone, and then I got in on the break and retest of these 2 points. I watched it at the zone and then saw if it was momentum or exhaustion. So I went to the 1 hour right here and I saw momentum. So I put my SL below this zone and then I kept carrying this one up. I was like, yeah, my mentor, I already know. Okay. So I kept carrying it up until like, hey, I was writing that thing out. And I was like, okay, so boom, this was my 4 hour zone. It had momentum, and then I just got out at the -61 because it aligned with this 1 hour zone that I have coming, extending from these 2 points right here. Boom, boom. And so now this area, that's what I want to know. Okay, where did you see any entries here? Because I saw this trend line break and retest, but I still wasn't sure on if like the pullback was done. Because sometimes when it doesn't break structure for me on the downward trend, like when it makes this whole like right here. And I'm like, okay, it didn't pass this low, but I'm like, it still could probably, I don't know. It just wasn't like clean enough for me to be like, okay, boom, I'm gonna enter again. So that's where I was like, yeah, all right, I'm out.
Okay. And where do you have price going now?
Okay. So from that fib, extended, boom. It didn't really hit a 23 like that. It was barely shy away from it. But then, okay, so now price is at this -27. And at this is my 1 hour zone approaching this area where it's a lot of rejection. And it's a weekly foundation level right here. So and this is my trend line right here that I have from like kind of like a channel type structure, 30-minute that it's approaching, but it's in between these two, like basically cornering price off right now just to see what it wants to do because it's a lot of wick exhaustion right now. And I have this counter trend line and this counter trend line. So I just got to see for more structure breaks. I'm waiting.
So where do you think price is gonna go? Of course, we trade what we see, not what we think. So
Exactly.
you're right that it's not ready yet, but where do you foresee price going?
Okay. Okay. So let's see. Okay, that it's at a -27. Okay, so I'm expecting some sales, some sort of sales, and I see, yeah, I think this, yeah, honestly, divergence.
Look at you. You so cute.
When I tell you you're my TV, Jessica, I do not watch anything else but you. I'm telling you, I'll be on this every freaking day. But so yeah, so I see divergence, and we're at a major zone right now. Okay. I'm trying to see if it's gonna break past this high or not. More than likely, it's not because I'm looking for sales now at this point since it's arriving at like, well, it arrived at a -27. So I'm just waiting for more trend line breaks and structure to break to confirm that it will go into that direction. But also like major wick exhaustion from this point right here and it respecting this minor zone. So I'm just trying to see what price wants to tell me next, honestly.
Wow, that was good. Look at you guys learning.
You better go, girl.
Thanks, baby.
Go, girl. Guys.
Yeah, Kia.
That's what's up. Got it.
Yeah.
That
You
was
better get it, girl.
good.
Oh my
Was good. Okay, all right. Okay. So anybody else? Where did anybody else mark up GU? I know some people said that they didn't take it, but anybody else mark it up?
I had.
You did, Julius?
Yes, I had.
You have your chart on you?
Yeah, I have it up.
All right, share your screen.
Okay.
You want to give us a rundown before I relay it? Before I
Oh, I mean, most had already said. I'll just like summarize what I have.
Okay.
Let me see. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so this morning I actually had notification on a break here, but I didn't quite trust it yet because the low wasn't broken from my side. I don't see the low being broken yet.
But you foresee GU doing what?
I do foresee GU selling, yes, but because we're on a uptrend on the major on the 1 hour, I'm still being patient. I do have a confirmation of divergence here. Um, I did have this breaking as well, but I was late on this. This was Friday, and I stopped trading on Fridays. So I decided not to take that. I made another trend line going down just to foresee price breaking through this for the buy later on. But looking at price still making lower highs here, there's a chance that we could be selling. However, I am also seeing this 15-minute zone that I created here. Not going past further past this low here for the negative 27. So
Okay.
I'm anticipating. Oh, and then the 1 hour trend line here as well hasn't been broken.
Yeah, you're waiting on your confirmation. Okay, so
Yes,
good for you and Nakia. Did you take GU this past week
I
or
did. And
I?
I have where's man? I actually took a picture of it. I always take a picture of my trades
Mhm.
um that I've done. Let me see if I can make this. Hold on. Give me a sec. Can you see this?
No, we just see your GU chart up.
Okay, let me change this
I have to
screen.
stop sharing and then share again.
Yes. I think that's it. Okay. How about now?
Yep.
All right. It didn't capture the whole picture, but I had this is what I journaled at the time. After your live you did on like saying that we should just wait it out, I end up doing that. And this ellipses is where I got in. I made sure to put a ghost trade to up to I mean yeah, a ghost trend up to the 1 hour because I didn't quite I wanted to be safe.
Mhm.
And I also see that this was the highest high as
Mhm.
well. So I just took it up to here. Um, that gave me around 33 pips, I believe. And
Mhm.
this is what I had journaled for myself. This is before you mentioned how to have your like your journal entries be a little bit more elaborate. This is a little bit more straightforward what I put down.
Mhm.
Um, but this is what my trade was. Also, I had yeah, I put it all here, but break and retest, 15-minute zone respect being supported. Um, and I had divergence here from earlier on from the 61.8 from the downtrend previous. So I counted that along with this trade.
Okay, good. Okay, so good to both of you guys. And um hold on. Nikia. Remember the slide from when we did our trading psychology call not too long ago, and it said that every trade that you don't take, or every trade that's not in your trading plan, every trade that you don't take is a win if it's not in your trading plan. So
Yes.
completely fine that you did not take that second buy because you did not have clarity. I would much rather you not take a trade that you don't have clarity on than to take it and be guessing. However, I am going to go over the confirmations as well as that trend line that you did have. It was a little bit more clear than you had it drawn. So just make sure your points are aligned when you draw them. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. We're gonna be teetering back between higher time frame and lower time frame. So just bear with me when I share this. Also, well, I'll start from where we were on the call first. So, like Julia said, when I had mentioned wait it out, let's just start from actually, let's go to Pepperstone first and then we'll come back to where we are. So, on the call, do you guys remember who was it that asked me about GU? It was a fib that she had the fib drawn on her chart, but I didn't like her. I told her her fib was correct because I had the exact same fib and the fib was going towards the trend line, but she had the fib and she didn't have any higher time frame structure marked up. Do y'all remember who it is? Because I don't remember who it was. I just remember the situation.
I think her name started with like an S or something.
Are you on this call? Whoever it was, I'm so sorry that I forgot your name. Please don't be mad at me. No? Okay. All right. Well, she could rewatch this call, but everybody understood on Monday call why I told her what I told her, right? How she had the higher time frame. I mean, she only had minor structures. She had no higher time frame structure drawn up. She only had this fit. Remember, you guys?
Yeah, someone said her
Yeah.
name was Chantrell.
Yes, we remember.
Yeah. That sounds familiar. Yeah. So I was telling Chantrell that in here we had multiple fibs. So we had this higher time frame fib, which is this main fib that's drawn right here. And then we had two smaller structure fibs that I'm gonna draw on here. So we had point A to point B that hit negative 61.8 before pulling back. And then you had this smaller fib that was point A to point B, and that had hit negative 61.8 before that started pulling back. These two smaller fibs made up this overall fib. I'm just regurgitating for people that's on YouTube who missed that call. But everybody saw those two fibs before the overall fib, right? Yep, everybody with me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so on that call that we had with Chantrell, she had this fib and I had the fib drawn up also. Which was this fib. She had this fib going to this buy, and I told her it's most likely going to play out because we had this fib. I mean, we had this trend line coming from the top. So I said price at like just looking at structure, point A, point B, price pull back here to here. But the question was because this negative 61.8, I told her we have to pay attention to everything where Julia said like to wait. We had to pay attention to everything because this negative 61.8 on the overall when was not fully hit. We came close, but we didn't fully hit it. And then also before this hit the TP of going to our trend line, we wanted to see if this was going to pull back first before hitting our negative 61.8. So remember when we talk about it's not if, it's when. So we knew it's not when, it's not if, it's when. So we know the overall structure that we were looking for was this buy to go to this negative 61.8. But the question was when, were we going to pull back first? Were we going to were we going to test this negative 61.8 before we got there? At this point, we had no real confirmation when we were on the call. The only thing we had was the structure to now draw our minor structure fib before anything else. Make sense? Everybody with me in alignment on that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm showing you this step by step because I want everybody to understand this, that when you're in the market and it's not clear, this is how you have to read the market. No different where Julius as well as Nakia both said, which I'm very proud of, that we're sitting on a trend line, so we have to be patient and see. That is the most important part of trading so that you do not lose your money in the market because so many people guess when it comes to the market and the market is not a guessing game. We take confluences and take price step by step to give us our confirmations as to why we're entering our positions. So this position, although we knew where it was going, it was not solidified until we had breaks and retests that confirmed where it was going. So now I'm about to switch to a minor structure of inside of price. So let's actually go to trading structure. Take this replay off. So inside of price, I'll go here before we hit this. So let's go to here. Actually, I'm gonna replay it. I'm gonna rewind it a little bit more. So none of this had really played out yet when we were on our Sunday call, but this is something that you want to take note of. So I'm gonna delete the backside fib real quick so you guys can see the minor fib that's going through here. And actually, I'm gonna hide it. Hide. And we're gonna hide this trend line because we had not had a trend line point at that point yet. So once we kind of started to have price form, we had like a small little break and retest here that pushed to this negative 60, this negative 27, but this negative 27 was like on a foundation level area. So all through here, we understand foundation level means what?
Consolidation.
Yes, consolidation. However, the reason you still have to take it step by step is because even at this point, you still don't know exactly how price, because when we go from point A to point B on a fib structure, right? Remember, Fibonacci is a tool that's used to measure the retrace of a counter trend based on the current trend of the market. So if I am drawing structure, let's say I have point A to point B. I understand price can pull back to 50, 61.8, 78.6, 88.6, or a 100. If it pulls beyond this, I know it's invalid and I'm still in a downtrend. Before this structure, you don't know when this structure is going to stop. Does that make sense? So the question is, how far are we going to pull back? Okay. Now, once we had this negative 27 and this touched our foundation level, after it broke this trend line that's coming right here, it was confirmed that, okay, we're pushing higher. But you still don't see a real, like, this would have been very hard to trade based off of it's a lot going on because it's moving sideways. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
so when I say, Nakia, you're very smart to have waited, even on the bigger picture. When it's noisy and you cannot make sense of it or is not clear to you, do not force the trade. Now, it's a little clear to me because I have the multiple confluences of seeing, okay, this validated this structure. And even in this, short positions are taken only because you don't know if this is going to pull back heavier. The only thing you do know is your overall, like, well, again, trade what you see, not what you think. You know your overall TP, because again, it's not if, it's when. But the question is, again, when is it going to happen? Right? So after this start forming, we have boom, boom, boom. This is when you have your main confirmation right there. So let me exit out of replay. Delete these. Sorry, because I did this on annotate, so it's big and bold. Let's go to our smaller time frame so we can see in here. So coming from this top trend line, you have this that breaks and retests to carry out to the negative 61.8. And I had actually gotten in this trade, like you guys know, I like to be out of the market by Wednesday. But at this point, because Monday and Tuesday of that week, like I think I sent y'all a message on Thursday saying price was hitting the TPs and was sitting at the trend line. I think it was that Thursday. I don't remember, but I know it was later in the week. I was out of the market by Friday, so it had to have been Thursday because I didn't take my trade. I think it was Wednesday. Yep, Wednesday here. So you guys see how all right here, this is straight consolidation all through here. Like you really would have been trading highs to lows if like scalping wise, unless you kind of like what Julius was saying, like taking the smaller move for clarification purposes. Now, after I had this confirmation here, I'm like, okay, I'm about to push to my negative 61.8. That point was this trend line. But at this trend line, you still do not know. I TP'd at this trend line, and I remember being irritated because I was like, dang, I should have just put my stop loss in profit because ultimately this broke and retested again. But I mean, those are just feelings that everybody pretty much, like, you have to be comfortable in knowing like there's always more money to be made in the market. There's always more money to be made in the market. Like you can't get upset because you could have made more money than you did. You just have to re-enter once you have confirmation. But this was one of those ones where I was just like, why did I do that? Because I was so far in profit that it was like, why didn't I just put my stop loss in profit? But it was what it was at that point. Anyway, so here this happened. This was Sunday call when price was literally, I think, yeah, I had said Thursday we were sitting on a trend line. So Friday, we were literally sitting on the trend line all through here. Sunday was when the market opened. I didn't look at this until later on Monday. This had broke and retested here. So Nakia, when you said you had your trend line and that one wasn't clear, mine is very clear. So I don't know where you originated your trend line points from, because this is 0.1, 0.2, and then this is the break here, retest here, and then price moving up. You see that?
Yes, I do. Okay, so my trend line, because yeah, that's my 1 hour that I have, that trend line that you have descending. Those points were fine. I had like a minor trend line on that, on the blue box that you have for a retest. I had a trend line coming from there going down.
Okay, got you. Okay, so yeah, so this was like a very strong confirmation trend line. Like,
Right.
it's like clear as day. Okay, price is going into a buy. Where are we carrying into? So this is what confirms that this is no longer pushing down here. This is
Hey, Jess.
yes.
Sorry to cut you off, but I had this exact same trend line, but he wasn't looking as perfect. I'm looking at it now again, touching the perfect points, but it's like it's just not perfect as yours, and it's exact same trend line. That so sometimes it's like you get into like I don't know Pepperstone or FXEM, and slightly they can look so different to where even if I do the same trend line as yours, it's not going to be as perfect. And I don't know why.
Yeah, because this is Pepperstone right here, and it's still a breaking retest here. You see?
Yeah, it's like I feel like
Yeah,
she
I
put
see it.
hers. I'm
Yeah, I
sorry
put
to cut you off.
no, no, Nikki, I think you're gonna explain exactly like I'm trying, and you're gonna do it better. So please help me with that. But what I'm saying is I did exactly what you did, just but it's just not showing as perfectly as yours, and I don't know why.
It's okay. As you continue to practice, like you really just want to draw it on majority of price. So as you continue to practice, I feel like it'll become more and more like more perfect, you know?
I mean, yes, there's some trend lines you can get confused on, but this one is so clear. And I'm saying again, I draw it the same way, but it's like my candles, I don't know, somehow they look completely different and they're not creating as same as retest as yours. It's just weird. I don't know, but it's not hard because the points are so perfect. And I'm actually not having a hard time with trend lines. It's just like, I don't know why mine looks different than yours and it's exact same. I don't know. It's weird, but I guess it's I can use Pepperstone, for example, or FXCM as yours, but because I'm using something else, I really don't know. Sometimes they really slightly can look different with my experience, but
Mine looks different too. Like I did not get a clean retest.
Yeah, same with my FXC too.
And
It's
since that structure,
FXCM. I don't know why, guys. Okay, so look at my candles and make sure you have the same settings then, because I don't know why, like, maybe
I
you.
swear it's
Also double
funny,
check the
but I've
time.
been seeing it few times. It's not the first time or the second even. Like few times this thing is happening, and trend line is not my hard things to do. So it's weird. It makes me laugh by now, but I'm
Could be the
trying.
time frame.
All
so
right,
my
well,
second
I'm going
point, mine's
to.
a little bit higher. Like,
All right, so I'm going to just share my candle settings, and then you guys can just look at them and compare them to your own. Make sure your precision is on default. These are my colors. I'll just
Yeah,
go.
I think the whoever was just talking, that's like if I share my screen again, because just like she just said, it's like when you're aware of where you are, because even though my trend line wasn't as perfect as Jess's, I knew like, and especially like if you have minor trend lines too that line up with the major structure, but it's just that we have our point. Well, I have my point like directly on the top of that second point of the trend line, and that will really like kind of throw it off if you're not aware of what you're seeing. It's like, yeah, if you adjust it right at the tip,
But
then it's not a clear retest.
it is though, because this is still a clear retest. This is still a retest that's clear as day. If you would look at it from that perspective, then it would just be this whole area that's retesting. But it's still the same thing.
Jess, can I share my screen real quick?
Well, yes, but
Okay.
hold on. Hold
Okay.
on. Yes, you can share it, but hold on, because I want to finish this before I deviate off.
No
Okay.
problem.
All right. So boom, boom, boom. So after that, point A to point B, this retesting here, this pushing to here. This, what time, hold on. Let me change brokers because I had a zone drawn out and I don't know where my zone is now. So give me a second. Where is my freaking zone, guys? No, I had a whole zone on here. Okay, well, did I delete it? Okay, that's awkward. All right, so I'm gonna just draw it back, or I'll just drag this one off for these purposes. Basically the same zone that Kia said she had on hers and Julius had on his. So if you look left, well, first off, this is a foundation level also, so be aware of that. But then I also just drew this zone all the way to the left. So like Nakia and Julius both said, if I look at the structure that we're in right now on GU here, like we had this divergence come here, but this was minor divergence. This minor divergence already played down, right? Now the question is, because we're still on this trend line, the same trend line they both have, the only way you're going to take this sell is you need for this to break and retest, basically the same thing they both said. And when it does, I had it go into this purple line, which is basically, I don't remember why I drew this purple line on here, but I remember it being my next level of resistance that would be tested as support. That would be the first, yeah, that would be the first area here. Oh no, I think it was a fib structure. Hold on, let me see. Let me make sure. Oh yeah, that's perfect. It lines up directly with my negative 61.82. So that's another confluence. But like Julius said, we don't have any lower lows on here. We're making higher highs and higher lows all through here. So as they both said, like we do need another confirmation before you can confirm that this is pushing to this point. But based off of how structure is forming, like I can see something like this happening, but we need to have confirmation first. So I'm gonna just use this because I can't see, because we're teetering on this trend line. I want to see if this high is going to be tested again, just because one, we have a foundation level, and then we also have a foundation level. It's a zone level, which is high gravity. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a magnet, remember, like price pulls to these points. But because of where we are, like once London session hits, if we have somewhat of a break of this level, and pay attention to, because you also don't want to fake out. If it just wicks down, that's not enough confirmation. You need to see price break and retest on a minor structure to give you confluence that, okay, we about to bust down some. But right now we're just sitting here. So we do have to, like, just like price is sitting here, we have to sit here to have confirmation of what's happening next, because of just this, it's just a lot. It's a lot of what ifs, even though we can see structure. It's just we don't have structure confirmed. Does that make sense to everybody?
100%.
Okay. Go ahead, Nakia. You could share your screen.
Actually, it's fine because literally you're right, because it looks, when I'm looking at mine, it's like,
Share your screen.
okay. She's like, do it.
Because I want to see what you're talking about.
Okay. Let me see. Okay, so start broadcast. There we go.
Girl, you so happy. It's a good thing, though. You should be.
I am. I'm always happy.
But it's giving la 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 la. I'm singing in the rain. What a wonderful day! Like
That's a good
Her energy is amazing.
yeah,
Oh
it
my
is.
gosh,
It
okay.
is. It's no shade at all, but it really is like do 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 do. I love it though. Don't change. I love it. But
Say
it's
my
very
name. I'm like, she knows my name now. Like, I be like, she be saying Nikki, and she knows who I am. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so this trend line. Boom. All right. So right. Okay. So I put it at the tip of price, but it's like right. It does align when I look back at it. I'm like, okay, yeah, because it's kind of like slashing through a bit. But like I said, like when you're around the certain areas, you know that okay. And other confirmations when structure shows you what it's showing you to know that yeah, that is the buy. But from this trend line, okay, is this right though? Like, because this is
Hold
where I
on.
had the retest to take it.
Hold on though. Okay, so yes, it depends on like for your minor structure, yeah, you could look at that as a trend line. It just wouldn't hold as much weight as that heavier trend line. But
Right.
also you have to look at what price is doing, right? So if you look at what price is doing, even if you go to the higher time frame, when this formed right here, that push down, it formed as a wick, which means that what sellers are running out. So you got to pay attention to everything for you to like you see all of that wick exhaustion at the bottom pushing price up.
Right.
So you
Right
just,
here.
yeah, you got to understand what you're looking for.
Okay. And you know what? That's true too. Cause sometimes it scares me when it makes obviously like it's not going to be a true shift change when okay, yeah, it broke below this low, but it's still respecting this low right here of this structure. But when, especially on major trend lines, sometimes once it breaks structure like that, cause it's like, oh, damn, okay, is this going to pull back up a little bit and then continue to form like, like a lower low because it just broke this low, so it gives me like kind of like angst to be like is that the retest for it that's gonna
Oh, are you saying that it broke the previous one?
yeah, like this
But that's how you got to pay attention to your structure because that is not a, okay, hold on. I'm going to share my screen. Actually,
okay,
put your screen all the way to the left and I'm going to draw on it.
okay,
Wait, my annotation.
Yes, just wanted to make sure that's how mine exactly look, and it's not like your trend line. Yours is just perfect. You see how it's crossing the cross, the way it fell down. That's where it scares me to death to get a buy over there. But like looking at it, I knew the structure was looking perfect and everything seems fine. By the way it crossed and not tip it, like kissing it, like testing it, and then lo and no, I didn't want to take that.
And I
So
also thought it was too close to be a retest because during one of the modules you said it couldn't be too close to each other.
It's not though. It pushes away and comes back. Too close to each other is all right. I'm gonna take the screen back and I'm gonna look for it. Okay.
okay,
All right. I'm gonna because I need to explain her to her what she's talking about real quick. So too close is um
It's clearly best, but I would love.
all right. Let me find an example. Mm. All right. I'm gonna use this. This minor trend line is here, right? You see how price is sitting on this whole time? It don't really push away and come back. You see that?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I mean by too close. If price actually pushes away from your structure, whether it even be this was valid also. If somebody was in this trade, they just would have had to wait a little bit. But this is like you see how it pushes away and comes back, pushes away and comes back. That is what you validate as a trend line. So price coming here, price completely broke this. We sat on it right here, which is why you wouldn't have, okay, let me replay so that this makes sense. You're not getting in a trade where none through here. Because even right here, price is sitting on this price, opposed to pushing away and coming back. We're still sitting on this line. Does that make sense?
Yes.
However, once price actually gives some momentum away from it and comes back, that's what validates your retest. So when price literally pushes from this line, opposed to sitting on this line, we pushed away. Do you see that?
Yes.
And then came back to test it. Like even Julius, wasn't this oh no, I think yours was down here. Was this your buy that you took to right here?
Yeah, that was mine.
Yeah. So like this is an actual push. Do you see that?
Yes.
And then it came back, opposed to all sitting in this area. Now, Nakia, for your question, because I don't want to forget, when you just asked me about was that a valid retest or whatever the case may be, you always want to understand the structure that you're in, right? So for what we're looking at, yes, but you had two. You had one smaller one and then one higher one. The higher one's always going to outweigh the smaller. Remember, major structure always outweighs minor structure. Make sense?
Yes, it does.
So
Yes.
if I have, let's just use annotation, right? Let's say I have a trend and oops. I have a trend and I'm going to actually, let me go from a downtrend to uptrend since that's what we were working with. So I have a downtrend, then I break and start going to an uptrend. But then in that downtrend, I have this downtrend too. I'm trying to do it based off of yours, but I have a downtrend that's a smaller downtrend like yours, right? You can't base this minor one. You can't base a minor trade off of a major structure. Does that make sense?
Right, it does.
This is yours. That's well and fine, but know that this one is only going to play out a smaller amount than trying to weigh it on that same red line because this is a smaller move than a higher time frame move.
Got you. Makes sense.
Does it?
It does. It does. I'm completely getting it.
So hold on. Actually, let me draw it in cohesiveness. So when you see this on a higher time frame for everybody, look at the red as a higher time frame. This is what's happening on a smaller time frame when you see red on a higher time frame. These are smaller uptrends and downtrends that are forming to make up this impulse down and this correction. This is a whole downtrend on minor structure and a uptrend on minor structure. Does that make sense? So you can't weigh, hey, is this a valid break and retest? Yes, it's a valid break and retest, but that's a valid break and retest for the minor structure move that's occurring here, not necessarily this overall move that you need to wait on here. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank
Faith,
you.
Faith has had
Absolutely.
her hands up, but I wanted to get through the call. Faith.
I just
Hey, how are you?
good. Two questions. One is on major structure, does it always complete at -61? Like, is that its completion point?
I mean, for the most part, yeah. This negative 61.8 that we did not hit this past week, we came to a zone, but price could have still hit it, which is why we needed to wait for price to play out previously. It has not hit it yet. So it's not to say it won't hit in the future, but it hasn't hit that. But typically, yes, it does. Unless like you have like a zone or something like a stopping point prior to, but not, 9 times out of 10 it's supposed to hit it, yes.
Okay. And then my other question is like on structure. Let's say price is downtrending, going into an uptrend. and there's like a very minor, tiny structure going up. When we're drawing our fib, do we draw the fib, that first fib when structure changes? Do we need to, is the first like points, the structure need to break the previous downtrend structure? Or can we just go ahead and say, okay, it's now uptrending, although it's very small, that is a higher point? Does that make sense?
No, you got to show me your chart. I followed you, but I want to see an example to make sure I followed you properly.
Okay. Let me share. Share. Okay. Okay. Let me see if I can see one. Oops. I might have to draw one. I'll just draw one. Okay. Let's see. Bear with me, y'all. Let me see if I can use this. Yeah. Change the color. All right. So if price is like downtrending like this, and then there's a small like that. When we draw the fib, oops, that ain't the fib. When we draw the fib, do we need to, or the first point, are we breaking the previous, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, it depends on what structure you in. Like,
yeah.
if you're in a minor structure, you're not going to wait for that overall high on that higher time frame to be breaking first. So you would be drawing minor fibs before that, because that's what's happening right now. We drew minor fibs all through there before there was a higher point. You see
Okay.
what I'm saying?
And I think I really meant like there's maybe one more right here too.
Yeah,
And
but
then
that would be, but that's what I'm saying. So you just gotta understand your structure. You can draw that, but you understand if that whole blue thing that you drew first is a 1 hour, you understand that like there won't be another 1 hour structure fib until that high breaks, but there can be many 15 minutes and 30 minutes all through there that you're taking advantage of.
gotcha. Okay. And okay, that's what I've been doing. But on that first one, I get confused where I'm like, well, do I need to, am I looking for that? But I do trade smaller structure and I do pretty much as soon as I see a higher point, I'm drawing the fib.
Yeah, that's what happened in real lifetime here. Like, literally look at the structure that you just asked me about and look at what just happened in the market. So let's just go to a clear one real quick. We're literally, when you just asked me what you asked me about, right? Let's use this. Okay. So remember we had,
I think you got to share yours.
We can't see.
y'all can't see my screen?
I can see it.
I
Oh,
can see it.
I see your screen, Jess.
yeah, I see it now.
Okay. So you see how this was our main structure?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we did have, again, we had.
No, now I see you. Everybody else, y'all see Jess' chart or her?
I see your screen.
Yeah, we can
Oh.
see it.
I can see the
Yeah,
chart.
before, and now I don't.
I see the chart.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, Jess, you just drew some blue lines. I saw that, right? Is that what you drew?
yeah, I drew it on my chart. Y'all see it?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, we can see
So
it.
basically, that is exactly what y'all see the question that she asked. You see this downtrend, but we drew a minor structure fib right here, but that's not the same structure. You see? It's the same thing that you just asked me, but it's in real life.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I drew a minor fib here, but this higher time frame fib, I'm not drawing a higher time frame fib. Like basically you would need structure to break. You're asking would I structure break like this? Do you have to wait to draw a fib to go up there? The question is absolutely not. You're gonna lose, I mean, not lose money. You're gonna miss so much money to be made before it actually gets there. You can draw minor structure first, but you have to understand the structures that you're in. Remember, what is major structure? What is minor structure? Is there a break of structure first and foremost? To catch this.
Right. Okay. I have one more question. When we, okay, let's say we're taking like 2 entries. Let me try to explain what I'm trying to say. When price continues to pull back, let's say you got an entry, you think it's a good entry, but maybe price continues to pull back. Do you think it's safer to make, if you're getting it twice, do you think it's safer to get to like, if you're twin trading it, put the larger lot size on the second entry? Does that make sense?
I think, no, I think that if you have all of your confirmation, it doesn't matter. As long as you trust your confluence, it doesn't matter which lot size is where.
Okay.
Because if you're sure about the trade, then whether you take a larger, I mean, the lot size should signify, or it should be confirmation of what you see.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Riley and Alicia, don't be mad at me, but I'm gonna have to get to y'all next week. Okay.
It's all good.
Well, just it wasn't a real question. I just wanted to have it's real quick. Like, when you have your chart where you drew your fear major structure at the bottom of that, is that also a 4-hour structure, or I get confused with that? That's what I wanted to know.
Look at it in regards to major structure and minor structure, opposed to trying to classify it for 1 hour, 30-minute, 4 hour, because I think that a lot of people are putting too much emphasis on that.
Okay, but can you extend it? Also, what I'm basically asking.
Which one? The lower one that I had on?
No, the major structure you have, could it be extended to where price is at the bottom now?
So no, I'm gonna keep that one where it is because I already had 2 that was broken, unless I have another point later on. But right now for where price is, I'm keeping this where it is and these 3 or these 2 that were on top of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But they're not, to answer your question though, it's not 4 hour, it's more of like a 1 hour, but I don't want to confuse nobody, so just get it like that.
Okay.
All right. My babies is crying real bad, y'all, so I'm about to go upstairs.